Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. I'm really glad you're here. This session, we're going to be talking about making connection feel lighter, more human like, and less like a performance. We're walking through a simple messaging structure built into Dave Ryder Elite to help you reach without second guessing every word. Most of us don't struggle because we're unskilled. We struggle because we care. And when we care about showing up right, it can make even a simple message feel like high stakes. That's why this work matters. The goal isn't to become a messaging expert, it's to remove the friction from the connection process. We've all been taught to just follow up, but there's rarely any nuance behind that advice. Not everyone is in the same stage, and treating every person the same often leads to disconnection or over effort. This slide highlights where that effort tends to fall apart. So if you're sending the same message to everyone, hoping instead of reading behavior, taking silence personally, and trying to force someone confidence without a rhythm to support it, those are signs that your outreach strategy might need some work to improve. So Dave Ryder's suite or elite was built to support, not replace you. Think of it like a collaborator that knows how to guide your process without overriding your intuition. It's structured enough to give you clarity, but open enough for your voice to come through. Think of this like a smart filter that adjusts your messaging based on your real behavior. Instead of wondering, what should I say? You're guided through a simple sequence that aligns with the other person's readiness to engage. Less pressure, more flow. And this spectrum here isn't just about judgment, it's awareness. Most connection misfires happen when we assume someone is further along than they are. When we tune into these stages, it gives us space to move slower and communicate more intentionally. So here's where we match the message to the moment. Every level of warmth has its own rhythm. When we try to skip steps or move too quickly, it feels off. This structure will help maintain the sync between things. And most people only think about follow-ups, which is not always what is needed. Sometimes the best thing you can do is reopen the door with lightness or a check-in without expectations. Keyword, without expectations. This procedure helps you choose based on what's real, not what's routine. The messaging process in Dave Ryder Elite starts with questions, not templates. It's responsive to the context, and it invites you to humanize before you hit send. That's a big deal if you ever felt like you were being too salesy. When you have structure, it changes your relationship to connection because you're not waiting to feel ready. You're able to move with intention, and these are the kinds of shifts that show up quietly but make a big difference. So here's where we walk through it in real time. I'll show you how the system helps you identify warmth, choose the right message type, and then shape it around your voice. Feel free to ask questions as we go. Alright, so pull this up. Oh, frickin' some. We'll just make this slightly larger. Now we have to find a lead to connect to. Since we're currently on Facebook, so since we're currently on Facebook, good, we found a lead. So now we're on this lead's main page. But before we do anything, what I'm gonna do is share my DM tracker with Dave Ryder. If it'll let me do it. I I have a prospect that I want to DM. This prospect just I just accepted this prospect's friend request on Facebook, so he's the most recent person on my friends list. Now let's tell Dave Ryder about this prospect. Looking at his profile. According to his Facebook profile, helps people turn their passives into profit with affiliate marketing. Many of his posts motivational quotes that are have something to do with marketing and sales. Also part of a Facebook group that teaches strategies about digital marketing. Now let's comment about his content strategy. His content is getting, on average, 40 to 60 different usually sticks to very short form style text on interactive backgrounds where his AI avatar is in the background. Cornfield. Walk me through the DM process for this specific kind of prospect. How cold or warm is this lead? Before we even know what to DM this lead, we need to figure out whether this is a cold, warm, or hot lead. So this is a warm lead. Now it gave us a sequence. It gave us the opener, their interest gauge, and a bridge to pain point or strategy. Stick to strictly professional. Also, if it helps, this prospect sent me a friend request today and I accepted it. So what we're doing is we're giving Dave Ryder Elite as much context as possible throughout the entire DM process. We don't just want to send a random DM and then it turns the prospect off. No, we're going about this systematically. We're collaborating with Dave Ryder Elite to make sure we send only the best DMs within Dave Ryder's expertise. Remove all elements of condescension, flattery, dismissiveness, or ego boosting. No, I don't think this would be a good time to ask questions about the content. I would only like a thank you and a greeting this point in the conversation since it's the first message. I would like it to be professional and humanized without any end dashes or any signs that the text message was generated by AI. Beautiful. Now that we have our first message, what we're going to do is copy this, send it to the prospect to open a conversation with him. Oh, freaking some. Bingo! We just professionally sent our first DM with Dave Ryder Elite. Just to give you a recap, we researched this prospect using our lead pools. We stared at his profile, glanced through it, and pulled out as much information from it as possible. We gave it as much context as possible. How's his content strategy currently looking like? What does he do? What is his content looking like? Where did the friend request come from? Then we asked, how cold or warm is this lead? It told us why. It gave us a profile snapshot. It gave us a DM flow. We asked it to revise it, gave it more context, told it to remove all negative elements and undertones. Our imposter syndrome kicked in. It revised the message. We told it that it sounded too bland. So to be clear, Dave Ryder will not craft the DMs for you. You have to give it a lot of context, which as soon as you get the gist of it, it's not very difficult to add context. You literally just have to scan the prospect's profile and then tell Dave Ryder what you observe. And then using that information, it will design DMs scripts that you can send to the prospect that are personalized. So we're going to do another one. We're going to do another one. I currently have 2 people in my pipeline that replied within the past 12 hours. Background on this prospect: this guy has been in my pipeline since the 1st of May. So this prospect is 9. So our connection is 9 days old, which means that it's been in my pipeline. We've been building lots and lots of rapport, sharing our content strategies. So now we're asking it to run a difficult test. I trained Dave Ryder Elite to run difficult tests. This is a test which makes sure the text message is not dismissive, not ego boosting, not bland, not flattering, not condescending, and no overused phrasing. Gives us the breakdown, the original message, add a folded prayer hands emoji at the end, which replaces the last period. So each prospect is going to require a whole, pretty much a different process that looks pretty similar to each other. So framework, the whole abstract framework messaging each prospect is going to pretty much more or less be the same, but the way you do it is going to be different each time because it's not the same every single time. You have to rely on, okay, what does this prospect do? What's their expertise? What's their content strategy looking like? What's their profile looking like? So many different variables. And that is why you really have to be heavily involved in the DM process with Dave Ryder Elite. Dave Ryder Elite can only do so much. You have to use it as a tool to help you, not replace you, because it wasn't designed to replace you. It was designed to help you. So we're going to copy this and send it to the prospect. Awesome. Now we're going to do one more. Now we're going to ask it to guide us through it. So now we're going to add a lot of context for Dave Ryder to design a custom follow-up, or should I say check-in DM to send to this prospect. So he asks what tools I use. For my content strategy, I built a series, a suite of sidekicks called Dave Ryder, which are essentially specially highly specialized and thoroughly trained copywriting and content sidekicks that are built on top of the Dave Ryder suite. These content and copywriting sidekicks in the suite on top of Chat GPT and Google Gemini. So it's not really not an AI agent, but rather a hybrid sidekick that works one on one with you collaboratively without needing extra human copywriter or content strategist. So here we added a lot of context. I would remove the M-dashes and humanize this. So we copied this, and we're going to send it over to this prospect. Oh, freaking some. So there you have it. So for a quick recap, we sent him a prospect, most recent exchange, open engagement role. We told Dave Ryder to guide us through it. We added more context, made it humanized. We copied it and sent it over to the prospect. So, if you would like more of these trainings, I'll be happy to do another one just like this. Until then, hope you had an awesome time at this workshop, and I'll see you on the next one. Toodles!